22 drivers from around the world began their drive through 7 Indian cities from Chennai to Goa in 10 customized tuk-tuk rickshaws to raise funds for impoverished children in India and Singapore. The aspiring adventurers, who hailed from Ireland, UK, Italy, Australia and Singapore, participated in the event to see India closely and contribute to the noble aim of raising financial aid for the poor children. The rally, which was flagged from Chennai's MRC Naga on October 6, witnessed tuk-tuks clad in bright colors of orange and yellow taking to the streets of the city. This auto rickshaw journey is set to cover a stretch of 1,087 kilometers as the drivers would travel to Western Beach State, Goa in 6 days. Eamon Ling, organizer of the event, said the idea of raising funds for impoverished children in this unique way has become big.
Over 1 year, it's developed into a much bigger idea to raise money for several children's charities in India and Singapore. Most of the participants live and work in Singapore, and we all have families, so we wanted to raise some money for children, and obviously we're in India, so we wanted to share that, raise some money for Indian Children's Society as well, or an Indian charity as well.
Another participant added that they chose India as their destination because they would cross many cities while traveling and raise funds. A number of sponsors and social organizations have extended their support to the rally by donating goodies for the children that will be distributed in schools and various societies. The participants would meet underprivileged children in orphanages as well as schools and would distribute study materials to encourage reading. The organizers have estimated to raise funds with a target of $70,000 to $90,000 for the cause. About 3,000 residents and volunteers planted 20,000 seedlings on a newly built levee off the Japanese coast of Minami-Soma City, Fukushima Prefecture on Sunday. The event was organized by Minami-Soma City and volunteer groups. Mayor Katsunobu Sakurai said he hopes the trees will grow and protect people from tsunami. Members of the all-girl pop group AKB48 also took part in the event. The participants were divided into groups and planted the seedlings on mounds about 200 meters from the coast. The levee contains rubble, wood and other debris from the March 2011 earthquake and tsunami. The seedlings are expected to grow a height of more than 10 meters in about 10 years. A 12-year-old junior high school student said she planted the young trees and prayed that everyone will be saved from tsunami. A traditional autumn festival in the western Japanese port city of Nagasaki began on Monday. The Nagasaki Kunchi Festival has a 379-year history. Groups from 6 local communities performed at Suwa Shrine from early morning. One group staged the tale of a 17th century tradesman who returned to Nagasaki with his Vietnamese wife. People wearing traditional Vietnamese costumes paraded into the venue. They were followed by a group of men pulling a 5-ton replica of a trading vessel from the era. Lively drums and gongs accompanied their performance. Another group dressed as traditional whalers presented a replica of a spouting whale. Spectators applauded and called for encores for the skillful performances. Shinto priests at the Ise Grand Shrine transferred sacred objects into the new shrine in a spectacular ritual that happens only once every 20 years. Ise Grand Shrine is located in central Japan and is one of Shinto's most significant and sacred sites. The shrine officials dismantled the sanctuary at the site and built anew every 20 years. The event dates back 1,300 years. A group of 150 priests moved the shrine's deity to its new sanctuary on Wednesday evening. The transferring ritual is the highlight of the bicentennial event. One spectator said she visits the shrine every year, but she felt a completely different atmosphere this time. She said it was a great experience. Nearly 2,000 swimmers took part in the annual Cross Harbor Swim in Hong Kong on Sunday. They braved the 1.5-kilometer route to swim from Lei Yu Mun in Kowloon to Quarry Bay on Hong Kong Island. This year, there was a new competition named International Race for both men and women. The men's international race was won by Christian Richard of Germany in a time of 15 minutes, 45.7 seconds. Richard, who won gold in the team event earlier this year at the World Aquatics Championships in Barcelona, said he was satisfied with his experience in Hong Kong. The women's international race was won by Brazilian Poliana Okimoto. Okimoto, who finished 7th in Beijing Olympic Games in 2008 in the women's 10-kilometer open water event, clocked 15 minutes, 56.2 seconds in beating her rivals. The first cross-harbor swim was held in 1906 and suspended in 1978 because of concerns over water pollution. The event resumed in 2011. The race was held at the east of the Victoria Harbour, set against the iconic skyscrapers on the Hong Kong island in an area considered to be relatively less polluted. For the first time, the National Archives of Japan has recently released a document proving that the Japanese military had taken 35 Dutch women from a POW camp in Indonesia for sexual slavery. The document was titled Court Martial in Batavia, Case Number 106. The document contained court records of the guilty verdicts given to 5 Japanese military officers. It also had the testimonies of 4 civilians to a government agency after the war about the details of them being raped. The ruling for a Japanese Army Lieutenant General sentenced to 12 years in prison described how Dutch women who had been imprisoned in Java Islands in 1944 were taken to 4 locations and threatened into prostitution. Included in the ruling was a written statement taken during an investigation by the Ishikawa Prefecture Office in 1966 that admitted the women were forced to sign prostitution agreements. It has long been known that the 1993 Kono Statement admitting to the Japanese military involvement in sexual slavery was based on this document, but this is the first time such a detailed record was revealed to the public. The document was transferred from the Japanese Ministry of Justice to the National Archives of Japan in 1999, and now it has been released at the request of a civic group in Kobe. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe stirred up controversy by claiming that there was no proof that women were forced into prostitution and that the Kono Statement should be revised. But with the disclosure of written proof, he no longer has grounds for denying Japan's role in this atrocious war crime. Iranian researchers at Tehran Sina Hospital have successfully treated urinary incontinence through stem cells injection, formerly only carried out by the Tennessee Hospital in the United States of America. Director of Sina Hospital, Gholam Riza Porman, says they managed to treat 10 women suffering from involuntary urination, which is a widespread condition among women. Porman said current popular treatments are only relatively successful and the disease returns after an average of 2 years. Porman, who has been a member of the research team himself, said the project was initiated last year with the cooperation of Imam Khomeini Hospital's Stem Cells Preparation Unit. He also said out of the 10 patients who have received injections 1 year ago, 8 are completely treated with the condition of 2 others improved. He added Sina and Tennessee hospitals are to publish a joint article on the treatment in the near future. Sri Lanka has many museums, but there was none to showcase wildlife history until recently. It was in December last year that the Department of Wildlife Conservation opened the first wildlife museum at the Wildlife Training Center at Giritale. Animal skeletons and around 70 replicas of indigenous as well as animals found in other countries are displayed here. Among the replicas, a significant one is the rare black leopard found in the Sinaraja rainforest. It was the only such animal found in the island. The skeletons of elephants, leopards, monkeys, and deer and elephant fetuses are also in the collection. Nearly 30 different animals and species, along with a range of birds and butterflies, are displayed at the museum. All taxidermy work is being done locally by the wildlife officials in Polonnaruwa. Currently, the museum staff is carrying out activities to preserve the body of the largest bear found in the island from a forest in Mullaitivu. Wildlife Area Security Officer A.L. Jayasuriya said that at least 1 year is needed to complete the preservation of a body of wild animal. The Turkish Gourmet and Culture Festival opened on Sunday in Shanghai, China, showcasing the highlights of Turkish food and arts. Turkish cuisine is on center stage at the festival. Booths of Turkish barbecue, ice cream, yogurt, and cakes attracted lots of visitors. Besides food, many of the Turkish handmade fabrics and gold and silverwares were quite attractive as well. As a goodwill ambassador, Sultan Korsen, a Turk and the tallest man in the world, also showed up at the event promoting the culture of his homeland. Korsen said that it was his first visit to China and he loved the city of Shanghai very much. He also hoped that visa procedure between the two countries could be simplified so as to allow more Turkish people to visit China. An octopus-shaped kite, claimed to be the largest in the world, broke the Guinness World Record at the 2013 Greek Coast Kite Festival in Zhuhai City in South China's Guangdong province. The kite was flown by a team from Tianjin Municipality on Thursday. It is 1,500 square meters in size, weighing 200 kilograms. It took the team 10 minutes to put it into the sky. The team took 10 days to cut the cloth and another 40 days to sew it together, according to Liang Jiang, Deputy Secretary of the Kite Association of Guangdong Province. The kite was flying in the air for about half an hour. According to the previous Guinness World Record, the largest kite was made in the shape of the national flag of Kuwait, but it measured only about 1,000 square meters, 481 square meters smaller than octopus. Clinical trials have recently been completed for the world's first artificial biologic cornea developed by Chinese scientists. The cornea is the transparent front part of the eye, which plays a pivotal role in humans' eyesight. Any damages or opacity in the corneas could result in blindness. The blind people suffering from keratinosis accounted for 1/4 of the total blind population in China, and the keratoplasty is the only hope to regain their sight. However, cornea transplantation faces a difficult situation as it largely depends on organ donations. International scientists in the field have been working on searching for the perfect alternatives for years to help the blind people in the world. A research team led by Jin Yan, a professor in China's 4th Military Medical University in Xi'an, northwest China, announced recently that they had developed an artificial biologic cornea based on porcine corneas after more than a decade of efforts. The scientists decided to put the artificial corneas into the clinical trials in 2010. A number of well-renowned hospitals in China joined hands since 2010 to carry out clinical follow-up observations on 115 patients after they were transplanted with the newly developed artificial corneas. An expert panel consisting of authoritative experts from the participating hospitals announced the official results of the 3-year clinical trials in South China's Guangdong province on September 29th.